Welcome to the first episode of 2024, everybody. The future's so bright you just gotta wear shades. In this video we'll be looking at the Arturia MiniBrute. The original Arturia MiniBrute, by fact. This was released in 2012 and it was Arturia's very first venture into analogue synthesis, and it only has single oscillator, but it has oscillator mixer, much like the Roland Juno 6 and 60. And you've got these faders for all these controls, which I'm actually a fan of. It has aftertouch as well, so if I just play some notes, aftertouch on. So overall, it's a pretty cool machine. It also comes with Arturia's signature brute factor, which if you turn that all the way up, yeah, it's basically their own version of the feedback loop trick on the Moog Moog, and just turned it into their own thing, and putting this all the way up is absolutely nasty. So without further ado, really, we should get on with making some instruments. Let's start with a kick, actually. Turn that all the way down. So I'm thinking yeah, that'll do. So we'll just record it into FL Studio here. We'll create a second variation, actually. Right, that was just by raising the resonance. So if we just disarm record and actually listen back to this. I don't know, I actually am going to go with the first one because the second one makes it sound too much like a bass synth. So we'll go with the first one. So we have the kick sound. Now we want something on the lines of a snare. I think that's maybe a bit too bright. Yeah, just using noise, no resonance, and very short filter envelope. And it's actually a good thing really on here because it's a pretty snappy envelope. Low pass like the kick, and a little bit of brute factor maybe just to add a bit more depth to the sound, and adjust the filter accordingly, and you'll basically get a sound that's pretty suitable. So we'll record that. So we've got our kick and snare. Now we need to create something that will serve as hi-hats. So I'm thinking keep it as that for now, maybe. Oh yeah, I think that will do. So a bit more resonance on that. Adjust the filters accordingly and make the envelope a bit snappier, and you got your hi-hat. Or at least a closed hi-hat. So let's go ahead and record that. Yes, we've got the hi-hat recorded now. I think the open the hi-hat is literally the easiest bit because it's just... So we'll just record that. So we have our sequence here, so I think it would be suitable if we started turning this into a drum sequence. I'm thinking MIDI program the bass, the kick and snare sample, and then I think we'll fiddle around with the samples manually for the hi-hats. As a quick note, yeah, when you're doing that, just actually go to the samples themselves when you're doing like the kick and snare, and just actually adjust the length, because otherwise you'll get bamboozled. So that's them sorted. I've added some like sound, well, I added some sound goodizers onto the snare sound because it with everything else already there, it sounds really quiet, but need not to worry. We are going to be creating a bass sound now. Yay. So let's have a look. Saw. I'm thinking turn off the brute factor, maybe. Add in some pulse width, well, square rather. Yeah, we'll go with that. So we've got the bass line down. So we now need the lead. So let's take the octave up. Important to remember on analog synthesizers, if you're new to synthesizers, then yeah, make sure you fine tune it. So put some PWM and metalizer to the LFO. Take the resonance off a bit. Oh, I like that. Some release on both the filter and the amp, or maybe a bit more. Take some yeah, let's do that then. Keep note of that. So I think that I think we can record our lead now. And now we have our lead. Right, and now this is actually going to be a bit of a challenge because this is a mono synthesizer, not a polyphonic. So what I'm thinking of what I'm thinking is to create a pad. So with all that recorded now, I think we've got the basics of a song. Yeah, so let me just put this down. Right, so that's an entire song, 2 minutes 50. So let's get producing. This fact might not be as useful as previous facts from other videos, but there was actually somebody who made a joke video on modding the Arturia MiniBrute to become the Arturia PolyBrute. This was made years before the PolyBrute actually came out, and basically it was just some guy who basically had a switch just basically slapped onto the side of, or on the back of the MiniBrute, and it was the MiniBrute Mark 1 as well, and they would flick the switch and it would basically just, and yeah, it was just a bit of a stupid concept really. It just became a VST controller after that. It was a bit of a funny prank really to pull on people, but well, maybe not for those that took it quite literally, but you know. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, share and subscribe, and I will be seeing you in the next one.